Warning, the stories you're about to hear are detailed accounts of shenanigans, pranks, and some mistakes that are meant to replicate the sort of discussions that veterans have when they reunite over a cold beverage and do not depict the professional daily actions of the military at large. We hope to make you laugh, but not to disrespect our proud men and women in uniform. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome to Cammo Comedy, where we take a humorous look at the lighter side of military service. We got a big show for you today, but before we jump into it, if you like what we're doing here, give us a subscribe, give us a follow, whatever they call it on your podcasting platform. And while you're at it, give us a 5-star rating, write us a review, as that makes us more relevant in the algorithm and boosts the overall visibility of the show. But word-of-mouth advertising is just so powerful, so if you tell some friends, I will love you forever. Okay, let's jump into the show. I am your host, Aaron Wolf. Just as a friendly reminder to the audience, we put out a new show every single Monday, so make sure you give the notification bell a nice tap so you don't miss a show. Give it a nice tap. Also, we are doing laughter therapy here on the show. We got a lot of military members who struggle with everyday life after service, so we're just here to share a laugh and remember the good times. Joining me today is the man who shows up to the orgy with a condom on his balls and says, "I'm ready to make sex." Call sign Cheeks. Cheeks, thanks for being on the show today, man.
I'm gonna
condom on his balls.
I went to Catholic school, and they didn't give us a very good sex ed. And I told you that in confidence.
I'm sorry,
but here we are. Now the world knows. Yeah, I'm gonna start fucking calling you the first piece of bread. That's what I'm gonna do.
What does that mean?
It means that everybody touches it, but nobody wants it.
Oh well, that's obvious.
We call that piece the hoe in my house.
Oh, okay.
And just like Aaron and the first piece of bread, make sure you go out and spread some cheeks and not hate, folks.
Indeed.
And by the way, where the fuck is all the other folks that are supposed to be recording with us?
What do you mean?
Like Buttons, Footloose, Double Take, Dome Piece, Showtime. Where are these motherfuckers at?
They've been busy lately.
Fuck them.
I don't know if we're going to say that.
Fuck them.
But it's been a while since it was just you and me.
I know, man.
Bringing back the classics, I guess.
The OGs.
The OGs. All right, are you ready for my first story?
Sometimes it's better to not be in a threesome. You can be a little more attentive.
That way people don't make fun of you for having a condom on your balls?
Yes.
It's just between you and the other person.
Exactly.
It's like, hey, okay, look, I got the location wrong. Let's just keep this between us, okay? You don't have to be a jerk about it.
It's like when somebody gives you an address to go to and you get in the neighborhood, but you can't find the exact house.
Yeah, like this one time, this girl gave me her number and address and said, hey, meet me over at 123 Fake Street. That's not a place. You learn the hard way sometimes. I think she really likes me, though. She was just intimidated.
You should call her.
Okay. All right, man. You ready for my first story?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So we have ourselves another Marine story, right? So this story takes place in 2002. And you got a bunch of Marines and Navy who were out on shore leave. Now, it was said that they had a porn star on their ship. That's a separate story. Hopefully, we'll read that one later.
Wait a fucking minute, okay? Don't just breeze over that.
Listen, I assume that the Marines and the sailors were just exchanging like quiche recipes and like how to make excellent tapas and stuff like that. I don't think anything like sinister was going on. You know what I mean?
You just breezed over the porn star thing, guy. Back in like 2002 time frame, that was like a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Nowadays, half the fucking military's got OnlyFans, so they're all porn stars.
That's
because
true.
You don't get paid enough in the military and you have to sell your body twice. But 2002, a porn star?
Yeah, man.
Damn.
That was back in like some of the heyday. You're coming out of, like the big labels and
back when like if you didn't have cable and porn on TV, you'd have to flip through the channels until you got the one that was all wonky and wavy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Those, yeah. If you're old enough, you'll remember it.
Yeah, right.
Flip the channel real quick when your parents come downstairs.
But yeah, there was apparently there was some porn star that got on their ship, and only innocent things were happening. I'm quite aware.
That bitch was dick or treating.
Probably, I would say. But I'd love to hear that story later. So we'll come back to that. We'll just put a pin in that one for right now. We'll come back to that one a little later. This story takes place when you had the sailors and the Marines were out on shore leave, right? And they were doing some day drinking like you would do on shore leave, right?
Sure.
So these guys were in Thailand, and they found like this nice Western mall, and they had like these different like street bars and everything like that, and they were just having a couple of beers in the street bar. So we've got one Marine in particular. We're going to call him Randy, okay?
What a good name.
Randy struggles with IBS, or irritable bowel syndrome, right? Now, this is kind of like doubling up on some issues because you're in Thailand. A lot of times, like, the water messes with you and some stuff like that. You're day drinking, beer shits. Like, I see issues piling up.
If you have IBS, regular food's usually not okay, but you're eating Thailand food and ladyboys. Not good.
It gets worse. At this particular moment in time, Randy always went commando unless he was in uniform, right? So he's like no undies kind of a guy, right? So he's out day drinking at this street bar. And if you know anything about IBS, when you got to go, it comes on like a freight train, and there's no stopping it, right?
I have to shit now!
Right?
I've got a buddy who's got IBS. He's one of my hunting buddies, and I came over to his house after we were done hunting, and we were helping him move some stuff around, and he's walking up his stairs to go into his house, and he just comes out of his mouth, he's like, oh no, I'm shitting. He squeezes his ass cheeks and runs up the stairs.
Well, similar thing here happens to Randy, right? Like, he is enjoying himself with his buddies over at this street bar or whatever, and all of a sudden just hits him, oh my God, I've got to shit right now. So he looks around inside of the bar. It's just a small little street bar. There's no bathroom. So I would imagine that he's going through the 5 stages of shitting your pants.
Oh, yeah.
The 5 stages of grief as it applies to shitting your pants.
Sure.
Starting to get a little angry,
Yeah. Like, why is this happening to me? All I had was just street meat in Thailand.
And I'm sure he's getting into the part where he's appealing to a higher power about like, oh my God, let me just find a bathroom. So luckily they're close to this Western mall. So he just boogies in the mall. Thank God there's a public bathroom in there. So he's like, okay, I'm saved. So he bursts through the door. Now let me set the scene here. This is a larger style bathroom. It's got like 5 or 6 stalls in it, right? It's larger. So Randy bursts through that door, and he goes right to one of the far stalls, like toward the end, because he knows that this is going to be brutal. Oh. So he enters that stall, kind of looks around a second, and he realizes something's different about these stalls. Now, it's not what you're thinking. It was a sit-down toilet, not a squatty potty or anything
you got
like
me.
that.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly what I was thinking.
So for those of you in the audience who don't know, there are different style toilets overseas. Like they're not always like the westernized like sit-down toilets. Sometimes they just have a place for you to like stand, and you have to like shit standing up, or you have to shit.
I don't think you actually shit. You're supposed to squat. You used that wrong. You used that wrong.
I like to live life in the danger zone.
Who fucking shit standing up? How does that even come into your head?
I like to live life dangerously. Don't tell me how to live. You're not going to... Don't shit shame me, you motherfucker.
What the fuck is even that? Shitting standing up? I challenge anyone in our audience to shit standing up.
It's actually really fun.
Get the fuck out of here.
All right, so anyway... So it's not a squatty potty. So he's like, thank God. But there's something different about this stall. He looks around. He's like, fuck, there is no toilet paper dispenser in the stalls. And so he's starting to kind of panic, like, what the fuck? He looks around, scans, and he sees that they have like one of those big, like double roll, like toilet dispensers by the door. So he's like, oh, okay, well, whatever.
Like the door where you come into the bathroom?
Yes, the door where you come in. That's where you get your toilet paper, and then you take it into the stall. I guess they're trying to cut down on people like stealing toilet paper or whatever, like really using too much. So he's just like, okay, whatever. He bundles up a nice fistful, gets a nice bunch, goes back to the stall, and it's just like...
And you never grab enough toilet paper.
Chip shot from the friends. His ass just completely explodes all over the place, right? And he's just like, all right. He goes through a couple evolutions of this, and he's like, he's starting to wipe it. He's starting to realize, like, oh my God, I'm running out of toilet paper, right?
How do you make that mistake? Knowing what's coming and having IBS, how do you make this mistake?
Well, so I'm glad you asked me that question, because he was conserving, he's starting to conserve TP and everything like that, but it's starting to get like down to the wire.
He's had a couple in half.
He's had like 2 evolutions, and he started to conserve his squares, and he's got like 5 or 6 left. He's like, all right, I'm really going to take this delicately, right? Then all of a sudden he feels his tummy rumbling again, and it's just like...
ass explodes, all that kind of stuff like that. And so now he's like, oh, fuck, I got a bigger problem because now he's completely just destroyed the toilet and he's out of toilet paper. So he's like, all right, fuck. Now, it's important to note that up until this moment, he has been alone in the bathroom the whole fucking time. But, like, you have no idea how long that's going to last.
Yeah.
And now you're in kind of a predicament because you need to go get some more, and it's over by the fucking front door. So
if somebody else is in there, he'd be like, hello? Can someone
good
help?
luck. Good luck. I mean, you're in Thailand. There's no guarantee that people are going to speak the language.
That's true.
Unless he picked up a couple phrases. And, like, I'll be honest, like, TP, toilet paper, is probably not going to be on the first of my list to learn. But anyhow.
It is now.
So he just kind of is like, okay, I got no other options. I got to do what I got to do. So he pulls his pants up, like, with his ass out and just kind of, like, waddles over to the front door. And he's just, like, praying to, like, oh, please, God, don't let anybody fucking come in here. You know, he just fucking wraps up a whole bunch of toilet paper again, and he waddles back, kind of cleans up a little bit, maybe has another couple of evolutions or stuff like that. And then he's like, okay, I think I'm done. I've got to check my pants. I got to make sure I didn't, like, fuck up my pants.
That's right, because he's commando.
Yeah, he's going
raw
commando
dogging
and
it.
all that kind of stuff. So he checks his pants, and they're fucking clean. He's like, oh, fuck yes.
Wow.
So he cleans everything up, pulls his pants up that are still clean, goes back and joins his group, and like fucking 007, he doesn't breathe a word of this to any of his fucking because you know how the Marines, you know how these kind of guys would be. Like, if you're in a predicament like that, you're just going to get roasted and never hear the fucking end of it.
You're doing the penguin quarter step to get more TP? Yeah, you're getting fucking roasted.
Well, thank God he didn't mess up his draws. You know what I mean?
Oh, God.
He didn't mess up his pants. So he
that needs to be a t-shirt, a penguin with his jeans down to his ankles.
Ass out.
Waddling over to the toilet paper dispenser.
But let's linger on that for 1 second. I can respect other people's customs and cultures and everything.
Sure.
But what the fuck? What the fuck? It was with the toilet paper by the door. Like, and like, Randy was scared that somebody's going to throw open the door and he's going to be sitting there with his ass out.
Yeah.
You know, and like shit streaks on his butt cheeks.
Vulnerable. Oh, my God.
Not a good situation. And here's the other thing. Even though that didn't happen to Randy, 1,000% that's happened to other people.
Oh, God, yeah.
You know? Because, I mean, what are you going to do?
I feel like that method is going to make people waste more toilet paper.
I would say. I would be a little bit salty. I'm like, look, man, I am going to take way more than I need.
Oh, yeah.
You know? I don't give a fuck.
Fuck no.
I'm going to make a diaper out of this shit. You guys can go fuck yourselves. So, yeah, man. I love that story. Thanks for sharing, man. That was an awesome memory.
Oh, Randy. That's funny. So I've got a World War II story for us.
All right. Nice, man.
Yeah. So we've had Murph on the show a few times. Murph is hilarious.
Yeah, he's awesome, man.
This is Murph's dad. So this is Mr. Murph.
Okay. What's up, Mr. Murph?
So Mr. Murph was in the Navy in World War II.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
And as it happens when you come home, there's always those people who ask those questions like,
yeah,
hey, did you kill anyone? Or, hey, what did you get into? Hey, what happened? You know, and like, you don't ask those questions.
Yeah, you want to be nice. You know, like nobody wants to be a dickhead.
Right.
You know?
Well, Mr. Murph was getting these questions somewhat frequently, and he would always brush them off and whatnot. You know what I mean? And he was a good sport. He was like, I didn't really do anything in the service. It was nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, he did. He was on. The ship was nicknamed the Lucky Lou.
Oh, fuck yeah, man! I've heard about that.
Yeah, because it's gotten so many like holes blasted in it, and it would limp back to port and get
never
fixed.
sank though.
No, never sank.
Fucking A, man.
Yeah, and at one point they'd sunk like a one-man Japanese sub, and
right.
You know what I mean? So like Mr. Murph got into some shit, right?
He was a badass.
Yeah,
let's face it.
So Mr. Murph comes home from World War II. He's getting all these questions. He's out at the bar, and of course, people keep asking him, and eventually he's like, you know what? I lost 3 teeth in the war. Ooh.
Oh, shit.
Whoa. You know what I mean? And he'd brush it off. He'd have a few more beers. People keep asking questions.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Like, well, surely, sir, you got a Purple Heart. Nope, no Purple Heart.
Well, how the fuck does that work?
Okay, well, a few more drinks. Nope, never got wounded. Nope. I never really, passed along why, right?
Right.
Well, Murph and Mr. Murph are driving somewhere one day, and Murph is a teenager at this point, right?
Okay.
So he still had this real cool epic mustache at like age 12 or 13.
Yeah, sure he did.
Just didn't have the M16 in the bottle of champagne yet.
Champagne.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Murph and Murph are driving somewhere, and Murph is asking Mr. Murph, Dad, how did you lose 3 teeth in the Battle of Kula Gulf? You know, if you never got a Purple Heart, never got wounded. Like, I've heard you tell these stories about how did you lose 3 teeth?
Yeah, I'm curious too.
So, as we've said before, Mr. Murph is a goof dick, right?
Right.
He's a smart ass, you know.
I love a good smart ass.
Oh, everybody, well, not everybody does, but anyone with a sense of humor does, right? Well, Mr. Murph goes on to tell Murph, yeah, well, we were in a battle, and the front of the bow of the ship got blown off, and I was in my battle station in the middle of the ship.
Okay.
But my bridge with my teeth in it was in my duffel bag on the bow of the ship. So I lost 3 teeth in the Battle of Kula Gulf.
Got him on a technicality. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he would always get free drinks and stuff when people would keep pestering him and annoying him. He'd be like, yep, lost 3 teeth in the Battle of Kula Gulf.
I mean, you are factually true.
Yeah.
But misleading in nature. I love it.
Hey, but if you're gonna keep pressing,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes some of those social cues, if people are not really wanting to talk a lot about their service.
well, it's just like our dude who had the beret.
Yeah.
Remember the guy who had the beret and he was
Wound
the
up
naked sleeper, and they were like, oh, you must be airborne. But he's like, no. And then they keep pestering. Eventually, you're just like, fuck it. It's the path of least resistance is to just drink.
Yeah, just, all right, if you want to get me a drink, like, I'm not going to say no.
Yeah.
Like, I tried to tell you that I'm not, like, special forces or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Some people just can't take the hint.
Fucking A.
So our next story is going to be an Air Force story.
Okay.
All right. And this is like late 80s.
Okay.
Okay. So
Love the 80s.
I know. And these guys are cops. These are security forces guys, okay?
Military police,
Yeah.
cats.
And sometimes what happens when you're military police or security forces is you have what's called a wing recall.
Okay.
So they basically call everybody like, hey, you have to get back here.
Right.
Right? Whatever's happening,
In
but
the
you
event
got to
of-
get back. Right?
Yeah, something major going on, like they got to recall all the cops.
And if you're a good airman or a good soldier, when they recall you, you answer your phone and you go, sorry, I'm drinking. And then they can't call you back.
Depending on what the situation is, sometimes it'd be like, don't give a shit. Get
Right.
somebody sober to drive your ass in here.
Well, this particular wing, when they would do their wing recalls,
Okay.
what they would do is they would play William Tell Overture over the PA speakers for the entire base.
No
okay?
way.
And if you don't know what that is, it's the so they would play that over the loudspeaker. Everybody like, ah, fuck, and they'd come back to the base.
Right.
Right? Well, one night, a couple of maintenance guys are like, hey, let's get drunk and stick our 10 million watt speaker into the window. So,
Okay. I like where this is going. Drunk and huge speaker. That is a great combo.
yes. So they stick their big speaker in the window, and all you hear on base is this. So that starts playing on the whole base, right?
Get the fuck out of here.
So your guys down at like the CQ that are like ready to call everyone back in, they start making phone calls.
Right.
And the flight chief calls his dudes. He's one of the guys that gets in there. Well, they find that there's no fucking all call.
Right.
Like, you're not supposed to be.
They're starting to go through like whatever checklists and be like, okay, who initiated this? Like, what's going on? Like, we need more information.
It was just a fucking prank.
Oh my God.
There was nothing going on. These guys just stuck a speaker in their window, and it was fucking loud.
So everybody.
So they call back hundreds of people. The guy who sent the story, he said there was like 500 people that got called back. Yeah.
outta
Like
here.
wing recall. Like, that's a lot of people.
I'll point this out. This is fucking hilarious now. But like if you were in that command or if you were any of those people that had to
Yeah.
get woken up, you'd be pissed.
Imagine if that was your Friday and you got home and you're like, oh, I'm so excited for my weekend, ready to relax. You're getting dressed to go out. And then you're
Don't initiate fake recalls on base if you're serving currently.
So the way this ended up, those guys got picked up, and I'm sure they got charged with all kinds of shit. We don't know
yeah.
what the final
Did you have any idea like how they found out? Like, I'm sure their neighbors probably busted them.
Oh, I'm sure somebody busted
These
them.
fucking dickheads are over here drunk playing with speakers.
Yeah, I don't know how they found out who it was, but they did get picked up. But that story came in from social media, which is pretty cool, man. Like,
that's awesome.
Our fingers of reach are getting further and further out there, which is really cool. So if you're on social media, look us up on Instagram, Facebook, and X. Look up Cammo Comedy, @ Cheeks, Aaron Wolf, and
nice.
You'll find us somewhere.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
That was a great story from the fucking 80s, man. Oh, fucking recalling people. Bunch of dicks. All right, so check out this next story. This story is going back to the 1990s, and this is also an Air Force story, okay? Now, it's not necessarily the most common thing to see in the military, but the military does have their share of scammers, right?
Yeah. It's called the E4 Mafia.
Well, yeah, and sometimes that like people never grow out of that.
There's a whole rank dedicated to it.
Yeah. So would you like to explain what the E4 Mafia is for those of the audience who might not know?
So if you're an E4, and I know this was real big in the Army, and I'm sure it was in the Air Force as well, but by the time I got to the Air Force,
stuff like that too.
So if you're an E4, so if you're the 4th enlisted rank, right?
Right.
You start to learn the game. You're like, okay, well, if I volunteer, I get fucked. If I stay in the corner and people see me, I get fucked. Right. You know what I mean? Like, you want to be the gray man. Well, this whole E4 Mafia thing is premised on that.
Right.
You basically hide in the shadows, and if there's work to be done, you disappear. Or you quote supervise.
Right.
So E4 Mafia is just shammers. People that come in, they're like, I'm not doing that. Hey, private, come over here. You take care of this, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, this is the right way to do that. I'm gonna go check on Steve over here. I'll be back.
Yeah, man. So, like I said, some people never fully grow out of that mentality, right? Now, there was a guy who got pretty high up in the ranks. I think they said he was an E7.
Okay.
So he was higher up.
Wow.
And he had like this kind of important office job and stuff like that. Well, this guy, I got to say, this guy fucking takes the cake for like putting a lot of effort into putting no effort into working, right?
Yeah, sometimes it's just easier to work, man.
I would say so. But check this out. So this guy, he didn't really like to work. And he noticed that if he kind of had other things going on, like maybe they would just kind of pass off work to other people, or maybe he could just kind of like, you know, short sell things, whatever you want to call it, like where he just wasn't getting just bogged down with a ton of extra work or a ton of extra duties or something like that. So this motherfucker takes scamming and putting a lot of effort into getting out of work to a whole other level. Right?
Is he one of those people that does more work scamming than he does actually just doing the work?
Absolutely. So check this out, right?
Yeah. So
this guy realized that if he kind of like ducked his head down and stuff like that, a lot of times bucks would get passed off to other people.
Sure.
I think he had an important position, but he was amongst other people that kind of shared that. So like when people came looking for him and they couldn't find him, they'd just be like, hey, I can't find where Jim is. So, hey, will you do this? Whatever, and stuff like that. So this guy, we'll call him Jim, he gets the bright idea. He's like, you know what? When I'm not around, my share of the work kind of gets passed off to other people. So he gets his girlfriend, right? And they go out and they buy like this extra beater car. So he drives out to the base and he has his girlfriend following him in this fucking beater car, right? And they come out and stash the beater car on base somewhere. And then the girlfriend gets in his car and they drive back home.
Okay.
Right? Now, the idea was that he would show up for work on time, you know, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, hey, what's going on? Make his rounds. He would go power jam and mega mix around, like that kind of thing. Just, hey, what's going on, guys? Make sure he was seen.
Make his face known.
Make sure he was seen. But then he would go out to his beater car. And he would drive off base. He would go to lunch. He would go home and just completely fuck off for a good portion of the day.
A decoy.
Now, he also made sure that he bought an extra hat and he just left it on his desk, right? So what would happen is like his bosses would come around and be like, hey, have you guys seen Jim for a while? And they would kind of look like, well, I saw him this morning and well, there's this car in the parking lot and his hat's on his desk. I guess he's in a meeting or something like that. I don't know. Okay, well
he's definitely here.
Right. So, and then he would make sure to come back before the end of the duty day. He would drive his little beater car back onto base. He'd stash it somewhere and then go back up. He'd go around, power jam, mega mix, made sure people saw him and all that kind of stuff like that. So like he had complete plausible deniability that he was there all day and be like, oh, hey, I had to go make some rounds, or I had this meeting over here, whatever. And, people were like, they had a positive impression of him generally. So they're like, I guess this guy's really busy. Like, we just don't really see him.
This motherfucker is the reason my first sergeant used to make me have like 5-6 formations in a day.
Yes. It's because of motherfuckers like this.
Motherfucker.
I will say, although this is funny, don't fucking do this shit.
That dude's an E4 at heart, man.
So what happens is, the way he finally gets busted, like, he got away with this for a long time. We were told he got away with it for a couple of years, where it was just kind of like ongoing, right? The only thing that caught him is one day his commander had like a doctor's appointment, had to leave a couple hours early for work. So he was going off base, and then he sees Jim driving this separate car coming on base. Oh. And he's like, what the fuck? That's not Jim's car. And I just passed Jim's car in the parking lot.
Oh, no.
So, like, one thing kind of leads to another, and these dominoes start to fall, and they had to kind of confront him and be like, hey, Jim, do you have 2 cars out here? Like, are you going home throughout the day? Is that why we can never fucking find you?
Oh, my God. That's brilliant.
This guy put so much effort and money into getting out of doing work, which, let's face it, is probably not going to be that complicated, more tedious and annoying, I would imagine, in a lot of cases once you get up to those ranks. So, yeah.
Everybody's a scammer at heart, man, I'm telling you. I had a wise man tell me before I joined the Army, hey, when you get to your duty station, you're going to get fucked with, and if there's nothing to do, they're going to find something for you to do.
Yes.
So grab a clipboard, grab a blank sheet of paper, and just start making tally marks.
Okay.
I'm like, what? Just start making tally marks. It looks like you're doing inventory, and if somebody comes up to you and asks you what you're doing, just start counting. Throw a finger up, like, hang on, 17, 18, 19, and they'll leave you alone.
Right.
And by God, it fucking worked.
Nobody wants to bother a busy guy, which is part of the reason that Jim fucking got away with this. Like, okay, well, I guess he's Jim had to be accomplishing some things.
Sure.
Right? He was just working, we'll say, very efficiently.
Yeah.
Because this was the 90s, so this was like way before like you could even think about teleworking or any of that kind of stuff.
It's not like you can call someone on their cell phone.
When you're gone, you're gone.
Yeah. That's fucking awesome.
Oh, man. Hey, thanks for checking out the Cammo Comedy Show Podcast. We got a fundraiser going on right now, so if you like what we're doing here and want to keep us rolling, consider making a contribution. We'll put a link in the description. Also, we had some fun animations made up for this fundraiser, so we'll put links for those in the description as well if you want to just check those out. Also, don't forget to tell a friend about us if you love what we're doing here. Word-of-mouth advertising is very powerful, and we really appreciate you for helping us out. If you've got any funny military stories of your own or know somebody who does, drop us a voicemail at area code 531-222-6146. Also, we've got an email open. That's stories@cammocomedy.com. That's stories, STORIES, at CAMMOCOMEDY.com. We'll have a lot more fun announcements coming soon, so stay tuned. All right, I'm going to go microwave a croissant. Later.